So this is a review for a movie called David. This movie broke me to pieces. I watched it last night and I cried the entire time I watched it. So the information says the true story of David Rothenberg, whose disturbed father set him on fire. It's on Prime Video. It came out in I think it says 1988. I can't see, the print is really small and my eyes are getting bad. It's an hour and 30 minutes long. It's a drama. It's 13 plus. It starts off with this mother taking care of her son. You come to find out that she has a boyfriend who's a cop and an ex-husband who is a criminal, like out of prison criminal, and she didn't know that until after they had a kid and were married. And they're divorced. It seems like he sees his kid sometimes, but not all the time. And she seems like she's trying to keep him away from her. Him away from him, like, loosely. He comes to her saying that he got a new job. They fight a lot. They fought a lot. And he tells David that your mother doesn't want me to be in your life. She doesn't like me, blah, blah, blah. But they come to... After he lies to her, they come to an agreement where he can take David for a week, and because he says, I'm not going to be able to see him much, I got a new job, blah, blah, blah. And she lets him. He kidnaps him. He takes him, I think, to California, somewhere else, and he disappears. Like, he goes off. She doesn't worry, she worries the whole time, but her boyfriend tells her, like, there's nothing to worry about, blah, blah, blah. Then he finds out where he supposedly took David, and that's a seasonal thing, so it wouldn't be open right now. So they put out an APB, they find out that he, in fact, did kidnap David. He calls her, and he says, like, David's mine, you can't have him, blah, blah, blah. It's very chaotic, it's very creepy, and it's very heartbreaking from a mother's perspective. It's very scary from a mother's perspective. And they get into this big fight. David ends up crying that he wants his mom. That he wants to talk to his mom. That he wants to see his mom. And his dad gets mad. He gets jealous. He gets disturbed. But he's also wanting to hurt his ex-wife. He wants to hurt her. He wants to punish her. He wants her to suffer. He says his plan, which I don't believe is true. I really don't believe that his plan was to kill himself off also. Was to kill David and kill himself. He said his plan was to kill himself and kill David in such a way that she would never be able to know that they were both dead. So he was going to set them both ablaze, but that apparently he chickened out and he took off after he drugged David and set him on fire. And the worst part is this is based off a true story. And I looked it up, and it's pretty much the same thing, and I seen David, and I seen how badly burned he was, and to know that his father did that. His father, a man who claims to love you, the man who is biologically related to you, set you on fire. I don't think I can ever process that. As a parent, hold on. I was looking for my remote and I can't find it, but so he sets his son on fire and he ends up leaving the room and it blows up. The neighbor in the hotel calls the police, I'm assuming, and they contact his mother and they're like, we think your son has been severely burned and disfigured, and like, she doesn't want to believe that it's him, but it is him. And he's burned over 90% of his body. I think, I could be wrong, but I believe they said the only patches that were not burned were under his arms, because like his arms were down when he was sleeping. And he wakes up from like the pain-induced state, and all he wants is his mom. And you can hear the raspy scratch in his voice when he starts to learn to talk again. And you see how hard it is for him when he's learning to do things and how painful it is. And then he finds out that it was his dad who did it to him. And the little mental breakdown moment that he has is so gut-wrenchingly sad. And it's true, and it's horrible. And the worst part about it is this scumbag excuse of a parent only did 13 years. Or only got 13 years. I don't know what happened to him. But it is a true story. It's heartbreaking. It's gut-wrenching. It is like... It gutted me watching it. When I initially read the title. The movie said David, and I just looked it up on Google, and the information that I saw said a heroic story of a boy, surviving a serious burn, something like that. It sounded like a heroism story. Like, it sounded like a something great. This is like, it sounded like something that he's overcoming, and this and that. It did not sound like a father trying to murder his son. And then I didn't even read the information when I put it on Prime. And then as I'm watching it and I'm seeing what's going on, I paused it and I read the information on Prime, and I'm like, why did I watch this? But it's such a great movie. If you have the mental stability for it, I recommend watching it. If not, don't. But please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think.